Hey guys, welcome to the video. In today's video, I'm going to show you different locations where you can get free fonts, how to take them and upload them into 𝔽𝕠𝕟, how to use them for your designs, and I'm going to show you different layouts of different t-shirt designs that you could use. And these are all things that made me over 10 grand when I was doing print on demand, specifically with 𝔽𝕠𝕟. Okay, so not with other softwares, not on different platforms, but specifically with 𝔽𝕠𝕟. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. This video is going to be packed with different information. I know a ton of you guys use 𝔽𝕠𝕟 and you guys love 𝔽𝕠𝕟, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So I actually have a resource here. I'll be leaving this in the description box down below. It contains two concepts. The first concept is my favorite commercial-free fonts. Okay, they're for commercial use. You're allowed to use them. You're allowed to make money off them. And then after that, I have here free font resources. I actually spelled that wrong, but free font resources that you guys can get access to here. And there's different websites other than just the typical one that we all know, which is 𝔽𝕠𝕟.com. Now, to be clear, 𝔽𝕠𝕟.com is a great resource. It's perfect. I mean, there's so much stuff on there, but there's actually a lot of other websites that are completely commercial free, and you literally have access to millions of different fonts with this. I mean, just 𝔽𝕠𝕟 alone has 75,000, I think, something like that. 75,000 fonts. I think it says it. Yeah, it says it right here. So 75,000 fonts. But we have a few others. Okay, so let me share those font websites first, and then let me show you how to upload those fonts to 𝔽𝕠𝕟. So let's go ahead and get started. So there's a website called 𝐵fonts.com, but 𝐵fonts has a lot of different mixture of fonts that are personal and commercial. Now, guys, to be 100% honest, between me and you, if this was 2008 and there were fonts that were available, download for free, there's going to be a lot of people who download the commercial use ones for free as well. However, the only difference in 2023 and beyond is AI is being developed to be able to track certain things like this, to be able to track whether things were used unjustly. So I really don't recommend you sit there and use a commercial license product that for free, like you didn't pay for. That's why I'm making this video. If you guys want free stuff, use the free commercial license products. Don't use the products that don't give you the free commercial license, expect you to pay for them, and then go use them. All right, so let me show you how this works. So there's a website here called 𝐵fonts, but they have a specific link for commercial use, and they have a bunch of fonts here as well, and they have pages and pages and pages of them. This one alone has thousands and thousands of fonts. Okay, so that link will be in the description as well. The next font is the obvious Google Fonts. Okay, Google Fonts, Google itself as a company has thousands of fonts. Okay, you can go through them, and I'll show you what fonts are my favorite because a lot of them come from Google, and these fonts are 100% commercial free. The cool thing about Google Fonts is I know there's a lot of people watching me from different countries. Guys, they support all kinds of different languages, the Google Fonts, right? You know, all kinds. So check that out, all right? The next one, of course, is fontlibrary.org. Fontlibrary.org is one of the smaller websites I never heard anybody talk about, but it's there, and they have all kinds of different fonts. Now, of course, you do want to read the different fonts, and they're all free usage, but you want to read the licenses, okay? The different licenses that they have. If they're MIT X11 licenses, which means open source, all kinds of different things. So look into it, and they have pages and pages and pages of fonts. All right, so be aware of that. All right, the next one after that is FontSquirrel. A lot of people don't know about FontSquirrel. I'll show you FontSquirrel. FontSquirrel is free fonts. You guys go ahead, can look at it, and once again, they have pages and pages of fonts, kind of similar to 𝔽𝕠𝕟.com, but obviously produces different results. And if you want to check out their categories make life a lot easier for you to access. So, for example, if I'm creating like a poster for that's comic related, I can go into their comic section and look at all of their different comic related fonts. And I like, for example, this one. This one is probably my favorite out of the comic section. But once again, they have all different kinds of stuff. You can take a look at it on your own time. All these links will be in the description of this video. Okay, so those are the fonts. All right, those are the font websites. Now let's go ahead and jump into the actual fonts that are my favorite. So the first font that is my favorite personally is called Fredoka 1. All right, so Fredoka 1 is a cool font. you're going to see that I tend to like fonts that are like bubbly and large and thick. The reason why I do that is just because it just looks better when it's printed on a t-shirt. We talked about this in the Redbubble courses, the design courses. Typically, we recommend going with bigger, thicker fonts just because they're a little bit more visible when it's printed on a t-shirt. All right, so for 𝔽𝕠𝕟 was one of the highly used fonts that I used when it comes down to making money online for print on demand. All right, so check out that font. Link will be in the description. The next one, which is the more iconic one, is called Tilt Prism. Tilt Prism is also another font. Now, this font it's got like these thin lines in it, but overall it has a large structure and a large size. And I would say there's very specific uses for this. When I look at this, I get like a Colosseum Greek, ancient Greek, ancient Roman type vibe here when I see this font. All right, guys. So that's the second font. The next font is Rampart 1. Rampart 1. I'll show you that font as well. This is a Google font as well. And once again, this is one of those thick fonts, but it has like almost like a back layer effect in a way. But it's a cool font. It's a cool font that you can't really argue with, and it looks decent. All right, and this is for t-shirts that I would have like with sayings on them. Like, for example, there was this one t-shirt that made me over $200 that just says the word hello on it in all lowercase letters. That is an example of a t-shirt that I've used this on. Sometimes the most simple things can generate you the most profit. All right, the next font is called London Presley. This is one of my favorite fonts just because of how iconic it is, but London Presley is one of those thick fonts. It's from a website called bfonts. I already mentioned that website, but you could see here it is free for commercial use as of today. That might change in the future, I don't know, but for now it's free for commercial use, so go ahead and check it out. And you could see here, there you go, how it looks. Now, just a little FYI, if you download a font when it's free for commercial use now and it changes into the future where it's paid for commercial use, that's not a big deal. You downloaded the license at the right time, which allows you to take that license and use it, okay? So that's something to be aware of, all right? The next font, other than London Presley, is the final last one, is called Lethal Weapon. Once again, guys, I will leave you with all these links in the description box down below. Lethal Weapon, all right? Lethal Weapon, also free font, free for commercial use from bfonts.com. This one is a little more iconic. It looks a little different. It's not that easy to read, but it does have a certain vibe to it that works in certain scenarios. One of the t-shirts that I sold was a race car picture with this font under it that said the word speed under it. That's just a little, FYI example. Now, when we talk about t-shirt designs, let's talk about the actual layouts that you could use. So first of all, I have these 3 layouts I created just as a quick example to show you. And we have text and then an image. This is a very common layout form for different t-shirt designs that I've created that done very, very well. Text followed by an image, okay? And obviously the image doesn't have to be squared, but just use this as a kind of like a template or a concept of understanding. Here we have an image followed by text in small print. I do this a lot. You probably have seen me in some of my other tutorials where I've done something like this, but text followed by small print, you can't go wrong with it. And then finally, an image surrounded by circular text. And we could do that within Kittl. I'll show you how to get that done, but this is one of my favorites as well. This works really well on logos, all kinds of different text, and you guys will see how it will work, all right? So now let's go ahead and get into uploading the first font to Kittl so that you guys can get the idea as to how it's going to work. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. And let me get my file here, and I'm just going to be using the example London Presley here as an example. So when you're in Kittl, the first thing you want to do is find a design. So in my case, I could show you here, there's tons of designs on Kittl. You could just see anything, and you don't have to start with one that you're necessarily going to pick for right now, but let's just go ahead and pick something. So in my case, I'll pick this design, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on any of the text here, and I know there's different ways to do this, but I'll just show you how to do this anyway. And then I click on the text settings here. For me, this is I find the fastest way. Then I go over here and I hit this upload button, this font upload button. And then what I'm going to do is click choose fonts. And then I'm going to go into the folder where I have that font. So London Presley, it's a .ttf font. And by the way, you have OTT and then TTF, okay? So you can give it a name, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to leave it London Presley, hit upload, and then now it's uploading to the library. Now, once it's uploaded, I can go over here into all. I actually like searching through all, but you can click other as well, and just type in here London Presley. So there it is, London Presley. Okay, and I can switch the fonts to London Presley. So you can see here, it looks very professional, right? It works with what we have here. So the word metamorphosis, I took it. Obviously, it's a different size than the original, but it still looks pretty good. And you could drag it and drop it just like that. Take this little circle, or whatever this is here, this element, and drag it onto it. So that's kind of how you add the fonts onto Kittl. Now what I want to do is I want to show you me creating a design with this London Presley font from scratch, just so we can get an idea using the different layouts, all right? So I'm going to go over here, click New Project. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to configure my size. So I'm going to go over here to inches, and pixels rather, not inches. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to go over here and type in 4500, and then here 5400. Now what I'm going to do is, hold on, let me remove that. I'm going to change this DPI to 300, okay, and remove this. Okay, so it's pretty good, and its orientation is obviously going to be more vertical than it is horizontal for a t-shirt design. All right, that's all for my t-shirt designs. It's always this kind of style. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to first add my image. Now I already have an image saved. I wanted to use this image, and when you have an image, you could literally just drag it and drop it into the canvas. It will automatically start uploading into your Kittl kind of uploader here, or where your media is. So if you look over here to the left-hand side, there's a button that says media, or the uploads. That's where the image is going to be. So the larger images take longer to load, of course. I have a bunch of different images here that I was testing, and this image of this bear is what I'm going to be using for this design. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. But anyways, I'm going to increase the size of this, and I'm going to head back to my layout. Sometimes it really helps just to have these layouts available to you. So what I'm thinking is I'm thinking something like, if you guys remember the Batman show, you have the Joker, and he said, "Why so serious?" And I'm gonna have like something like "Why so happy" with this new font. So I'm going to add text. I'm going to use the layout that exists, and I'm going to go with a style like this. Right? So I'm going to type "why so" on the top and then "happy" on the bottom. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. So I'm going to go over here, click the text button, and add a headline. The only reason why I'm clicking add a headline is because I want the larger text, the more chunky text. But either way, it doesn't matter which one you pick. Okay? It's just less that I have to sit there and delete when I add a paragraph text. But anyways, I'm going to click headline, and I'm going to type in my text. So I'm going to drag this here, or first of all, before I even begin doing that, I'm going to take my image and I'm going to lock it into position. I'm going to center it right here, and then I'm going to lock the image into position. I'm going to go click layers, and I'm going to hit the lock button. All right, so now it's locked. So no matter what I click here, it doesn't move, which tends to be a problem with me because I always move things around. And then I'm going to go over here and just add my text now. So "why" and then "so," just like that. And then what I'm going to do is take this and switch over the font now. So the font is called London Presley. So I'm going to search for London Presley, just like that, and I'm going to add it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color. So let's say I want like a bluish kind of tint, like a light. I would go for something like this. This is actually perfect for me. I like that style. And I'm going to add a border, a very, very slight border to it of very light black. So there we go. Something like this, right? So just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the back, right? So I'm going to go over here to the layers and just drag this under the image, just like that. And now I'm going to add my circle feature to it. So I'm going to add my circle just like that, and now drag it, right? Drag it around the image. So "why so" like this, and I'm going to decrease the size just ever so slightly, right? Just like that. And drag it once again, center the text. And I actually like where the image is a little bit covering the text. It just gives it a nice effect. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this text, click on it, copy it and paste it again. So I have two versions of that text, the exact same thing. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to be able to take this exact same settings of the text, the font, everything, and just invert the angle. So I'm going to go over here and click on the actual text, right? And then I'm going to scroll down to the circle and then click direction inverted. So I'm going to click on that. And right now it should invert my direction. So let me go ahead and make sure that it's clicked. There we go. Now it's clicked. Okay. And I'm going to drag this up. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to write the word happy with a question mark, just like that. And so now this is a little bit too curved because it's cutting off some of the text. So what I'm going to do is hit edit transformation. And then I'm going to locate this ball on the top of the circle. So click on this one here. And I'm going to move this, the angle of it. I'm going to move it slightly to the right, kind of like that. And then what I'm going to do is make the circle bigger, kind of like this, because I want less of an angle or an arc. Okay, so just like that. And if I want, I can increase the size of this word happy or anything, but I'm actually going to keep it the way it is. And I'm actually going to do the same thing for this section of text here. So I'm going to click edit transformation, click on this ball, and just angle it ever so slightly, kind of like that. And of course, I'll delete the one behind it, just like that. And there we go. That's a design that's fully created that will work great on a t-shirt. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit download, remove background, PNG format. And then what I'm going to do is I want to see a live vision of it here on Placeit. So I'm going to go to placeit.net. And I'm going to give this a shot. And once again, all these links to these different tools will be in the description box down below. Placeit has some great free resources that you can access. So I'm going to search shirt mockup. And guys, we just got some awesome fonts. We uploaded it to Kittl, and had a little tongue twister there. We uploaded it to Kittl, and then what we did was we took that photo, and now we're going to take it and place it on a mock-up so we can see how it looks on someone. So once again, I have the design. I actually have an account, so let me go ahead and log into this account, and I'm going to insert image, insert from device, the image that I just downloaded, and I actually want to have a black background. I just like having the black background here, so go here with black, and then boom. So I actually like the way this looks. I think it looks pretty cool, and I think anybody else who would see something like this, who may be in the market interested for like a funny, cute looking bear that's angry, might like this kind of t-shirt. We also can see a version of it right here on a white t-shirt. And the cool thing about these t-shirt style designs, they can go well on mugs, they can go well on t-shirts, they could go well on pretty much anything. Now, something that I personally would do is just move this upwards. I don't like to have my t-shirt design so downward. I like to have it upwards a little more, and hit crop, kind of like that. So I like this style where it's a little bit more up. But that's pretty much it, guys, all right? So once again, all the links to Placeit, Kittl, all these different tools, by the way, the free tools will be in the description box down below. My personal 5 favorite free fonts. If you have a free font that you like, recommend it. Leave it in the comments down below. I'll check it out. But tell me what you think of the fonts that I selected. Do you think there's better fonts out there? Let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.